hello to my beautiful Piscean friends, my fish babies. I hope you're doing well today. I just had the most beautiful magical reading for Aquarius, and the sky is still like lit up with these candy floss pink clouds because the sun's going down, and the air feels magical and beautiful like a fairy tale. So I'm hoping that we get a gorgeous reading for you. I am sorry about that, it's a little bit darker than usual. Winter winter's a thing, yeah, we might find that the lighting is not brilliant in your reading. I'm going to grab you a song because I'm not quite sure what to expect from you. So Pisces, what do we have for you today? Apricots by Maya. I got this song because it's in The Sims. I found this space for you and I where we can both think just the same. We don't need these things like time. Feels like a spillover from Aquarius's reading. We can dream them all away. In my imagination, you and I, we can fall asleep under lilac skies. Perfect. We can take a trip anywhere we like because in my imagination, you are mine. Up in my mind, we're together. I'm sorry, I had forgot that you're not looking for a person. That's something you've already got. Live inside my mind forever. At least with you, I'd be lost. You're not looking for a girl when that's something you don't know you want. I'm something you don't know you want. I'm something that you don't know, something that you don't know, something that you don't know you want. So have you got a little fantasy about somebody going on in your head? You're in love with somebody perhaps who doesn't see you. They're not noticing you. They're not looking for love. Maybe they've already got someone else. So it's like, you're a bit like, that's fine. I'll just pretend. I'll just have this nice romance with you in my imagination. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, Aquarius, you have the best imagination of the zodiac and it's very powerful. So, you know, it's where you manifest from. So yeah, you might not get that person, but if you have these beautiful romantic dreams of, I don't know, having a picnic under a lilac sky and, you know, having this great romance with somebody, who says that's not possible, but just maybe it's going to come in a different form. Maybe it's going to come with somebody else, right? The imagination's brilliant because it helps you understand what you want from life, right? Sometimes maybe those rose tinted glasses can make you a little bit bitter, a little bit I think Libra had, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Was it Libra? Yeah, it's like, but I know what I want. I haven't found it, but I know it's out there and I'm going to keep looking because it's like, it's worth it. It's worth it to hold out for. They're giving me holding out for a hero to the end of the night. So it's got this lovely open feeling of like, okay, maybe it might be directed at a certain person right now, but it doesn't have to be that exact person, right? You can fantasize about it, and when that blueprint walks into your life, right, that unconditional love blueprint, it's like you'll recognize it, you'll know what that is because you've already played it out in your mind. So that's really interesting. An interesting connection as well there with Aquarius. Anything from this? No, I've forgotten a card. Apocalypse. My lips, your lips, apocalypse. That's the song that came through, I think, in Libra's reading as well. Anything for Pisces? What are they telling me? Don't look at the bottom, they're saying. Split the deck. The threshold. They give me Lana Del Rey. I'm on the threshold. So what is it? To the ordinary world. From the reveal of my heart. Finally. The ordinary world. I think I'm just getting the same line again. To the reveal of my heart. No way! You saw that on camera. I'm on the threshold of the reveal of my heart. This is my commitment, my modern manifesto. And now they're giving me the rest of it. Okay. Oh, someone's on the threshold of the reveal of the heart. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I love it. Which way? This way? Yes. Because they kept quiet about this for a long time. Look at this nest, right? This nest, this cave, like keeping something within. And then it coming out like this butterfly. Falafel? They're giving me the Italian for butterfly, but I think I said it wrong. Fafella. I'm trying to learn Italian, so every time I encounter a word that I'm kind of learning, I get both the English and the Italian version now. The Destroyer, the Mystic and the Destroyer. What is this? What is this, Pisces? What on earth have you got going on here? This is my commitment, my modern manifesto. Manifesto. That's a pun on... There's a pun there. Manifesto. What is that? Manifesto. Are they giving me Greek? Epharisto. They're giving me Greek now. Epharisto, the way I remembered it when I was going to Greece as a teenager, me and my best friend would say F Harry's toe, F Harry's toe, and that's how we remembered Epharisto. It's funny as well. It's a, yeah, threshold and heart. There he is. Oh, I love the Page of Earth. It's the Page of Pentacles, but he gives me such Piscean energy. I love this little guy so much. It's what my, like, I just feel this mothering need every time I see him. He's so beautiful. And he is on a threshold. I was thinking this about him last time I saw him. It was in a Capricorn reading, but it was like in the last set of readings. It may have fallen out off camera actually when I was like tidying up the cards, but he looks like he's on the threshold. He's like, to me, this little guy is on the threshold of like manhood. He's on the threshold of putting away childish things, right? He's not going to be Peter Pan anymore. He's going to grow up and he's going to get an office job. And it's like the last remnants of, you know, being a child, having a free imagination where, you know, that moment where you stood there and your future can be anything, right? In this moment, he thinks he's the fairy king, right? With these antlers, which, you know, it's like he thinks he's an insecto. He could be anything. He could go anywhere. He has the big dreams. He has plans. He's the page. He's learning. But then he's like, he goes into those teenage years where all that imagination and all that individuality gets crushed out of you, right? It's like he goes to school and he becomes a sheep. He starts to care about the latest trainers or, you know, whatever all the other kids think is cool at that time. And, you know, that phase where all teenagers start to, I mean, there's a few on the fringe who kind of retain that individuality, and I think that's brilliant. Those that are strong enough to do that, those teenagers that are strong enough to stand out and be different, that is very brave in those years where peer pressure is so important. It's funny, I was talking in Aquarius's reading, I'm watching this Netflix series about the brain, and there's one about the teenage brain, so it's funny that should come out again in your reading. But it's like, you know, it's so sad how all the teenagers sort of like this is why like trends are so important. It's like so important to fit in, to have the right hair, to, you know, I always part my hair on the side, and apparently that's not trendy anymore. You have to have it in the middle again now. It's like, yeah, that'll change, don't worry. It's like when you've been around long enough, you know that these trends are going to change. They're going to go full circle. It's like, yeah, you think it's cool now, but wait until you like look back at your pictures. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with parting your hair in the middle. I'm just talking about trends in general, you know. But it's like it's so important in that moment to fit in when you're a teenager. So he's about to, he's not the Page of Cups. He's not your page. He's not the page of imagination, the page of love, the page of spirituality. He's the page of being practical. He's the page of being realistic. He's the page of coming up with a plan. He's the page of how do we navigate this. So he's on the threshold. He's about to reveal his heart. So he needs to come up with a plan of how he's going to do this. He's very stable. He's very practical, you know. But I don't want him to lose himself. I don't want to lose. Because it's so fragile that it always talks to me about the Page of Cups, which is a very Pisces energy for me. It's so magical. It's so special. You know, that child. You know, that childhood, that childlike quality, and it's beautiful and magical when you find it in adults, right? And it's so often it can be criticized. It's like, oh, that adult's childish, you know, like be serious. But it's like, why should you put away your childhood toys? Why should you not have that Peter Pan, Tinkerbell energy of like being forever young? Why shouldn't you find magic and fantasy and you know, I don't know. It was in that Netflix series as well. Those, what's her name, Greta Thunberg, and she's such a serious little girl. Like, you know, for a good reason. She's very passionate about what she's talking about, which again pulls back into Aquarius's reading, which was like finding something within that you're very passionate about, finding something within that's important to you, and realizing that you have a voice and that you can speak and you can change the world. Realizing that an individual can have a global impact, like Greta Thunberg. Wonderful, wonderful girl. So I don't want to criticize her, but she said this thing about, you know, putting away Barbies, and she was like, oh, I can't believe I used to play with Barbies. And it's like, well, why not? Because, you know, Barbie can be anything. I used to play with Barbies. I've still got a ton of Barbies. I still buy them from time to time because it's one of my weird things, right? It's like, I don't care. It's like, it makes me happy to do that. It makes me happy to be able to project my imagination onto a doll, you know, for me to be like, this doll is a, you know, a politician. This doll is a, astronaut, you know, like whatever my brain wants to do that day. It's a little bit regressive perhaps, but it's I know that heals a part of myself. I know that there's something in me that connects with that childhood imagination and fantasy, right? It's important for me to keep that alive. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to be a jaded, boring, pick up the newspaper wearing my slippers grown up. I want to keep that spark alive for as long as I can. So I love that about other people as well. When you see somebody who's, you know, especially like even older people, you know, people in their 80s, but they, you know, they have that spark about them that's like this childhood joy. It's like when you see like a grandfather playing with the grandchildren, and it's like, you know, playing a game that they used to play when they were little, and it's like that little boy comes out again. It's so special. It's so magical. I say this about you a lot, Pisces, and I say it about Capricorn. It's like sometimes Pisces and Capricorn, the older they grow, the more childlike they become. It's like because you're the old souls for me of the zodiac. You like Aquarius too, I think, to an extent, but Aquarius is so logical. It's like that laser mind. It's very stoic. But for me, like Pisces being a water baby and this earthy Capricorn, it's like, I think you kind of are the old souls of the zodiac, and it's like sometimes Pisces and Capricorn babies can be so serious. Like when they're little kids, they're like so philosophical or so practical or so responsible. It's like these little children running around with the world, you know, the weight of the world on the shoulders, you know, being little Greta Thunbergs who are like, oh my god, have you heard about the climate change? Have you heard about the polar bears and the dolphins? Like, we need to do something about this, you know, feeling like you can do something about it, but then almost like the shedding of responsibilities as you get older, and this joy of life. I'm sorry, it's getting really dark now. I'm so sorry. So what's the cave? I love the Page of Earth. I love that it's come out for you as well. And he is on the threshold. Like, don't tell children that they have to grow up. Don't tell children that they have to get old and boring before, you know, let them be a child as long as possible. Look, again, on the threshold, can you see they're on this, like, this rock? There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear here because this person is about to come out of the cave. They are about to reveal something, some part of themselves. There is something that has been silenced. This isn't even their own hand. You know, they're trying to pull the hand away so that they can speak. Somebody's been silenced and perhaps told that it's not okay to be who you are. It's not okay to love the things that you love or enjoy the things that you enjoy. I feel like somebody's told this person you have to put away childish things, but they don't. It's like that's just part of the fear, that's just part of the conditioning. But it's like as you're about to take a leap of faith, as you're about to leave home, perhaps, you know, this person's coming out of the nest, you know, flying the nest. As you're about to fly the nest, as you're about to take a leap of faith, as you're about to do something, you know, when you're on that brink, that point of no return, you get hit by a lot of fear. It's almost like the devil comes out to play, where it's like, oh, you can't really do that. You know, that was just a pipe dream. You know, who are you trying to kid here? It's all those horrible things that we say to ourselves. That's when the Nine of Air comes out. But it's almost like this beautiful, it's like she's ready. She's got her eyes closed. She's meditating. She's connecting back to that voice within, right? That, not the negative voice within, that celestial voice within, that inner truth, that seed of a better future. She's reconnecting with why she stood there in the first place, and she's going to move. She's going to take that leap of faith. I want to say she's going to speak what needs to be spoken. There's no fear anymore. I keep getting this. There's no fear anymore. It came through in the Scorpio reading, right? Heaven's gone, hell is here. There's nothing left for you to fear. It's like when you've faced your worst fears, there's no fear left, right? When the worst has happened, there's no fear left. What is there to fear when the worst has already been done? It makes me think of a Doctor Who episode. I think it's one with Clara, where I can't remember the exact circumstances of the episode, but she's talking to this, like, the bad guy in the episode, and he threatens to kill her, and she's like, I don't care, like, do it then, because I'm going to speak my truth anyway. And then he's like, and she's like, well, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go from there? You've already threatened to do the worst thing to me, and I'm still not scared of you. So you haven't got anywhere to go. There's no negotiation for you now, because you can't scare me any worse than, you've already dealt your worst hand, you've dealt your worst threat, and I'm not, it's not working. It's like this energy of, like, I can't be suppressed anymore. You can't control me by fear anymore. It doesn't work. You've already done the worst. I've confronted my worst fear, so there's nothing left that scares me, you see? So the mystic, it's like someone went in with the word, like someone went in. It's almost like I was getting it like a poker game with somebody the other day, where it's like, a double bluff. Someone bluffed. Someone went in with a threat, but it was too big. It was too big of a bluff. And it's like somebody called them on it. And it's like, too late. You've already blown it. So I'm not scared, because the Queen of Air, right? So the mystic. I feel like this is this person, so I feel like this is you, right? It's like this. The Queen of Air has strong barriers. She has strong borders. She cuts things out, right? She's very clear-minded. So it's this logic. It's this logic of, it's like, do your worst, and then it's like, I'm still standing. Libra has this quite often. It's like, I'm still standing. So it's like you're getting the upper hand in a situation because you called somebody's bluff, right? Because it's the mystic, and this Queen of Air, she's got this owl. So there's this, like, knowledge that's coming through. And what's the destroyer? Because that's it. It's not scary anymore. Yeah, no, done. Burning it. Over it. The contract's done. The contract's ended. It's like they dealt the heaviest hand, and hit me with the best shot. Look at that Queen of Water there as well. I'm actually just going to turn my light on because it's getting so dark. Let me just try and sort out the lighting. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. It's a little bit blurry, and I don't really like having my light on and my curtains open at the same time, because I just feel like all my neighbours are looking at me. I'm like, hi, yeah, I'm doing tarot card readings. Hi, want one? 50 quid, please. But yeah, it's sorry, my own shadow is going to get in the way slightly. Talking about shadow work. Yeah, no, this is funny. Capricorn had this energy of, like, throwing it all up in the air, like throwing all the paper up in the air and letting it fall where it lands. It's like, I'm done. So I feel like somebody has completed some kind of soul contract here, where I think that they've been suppressed and they've been kept in fear, probably by either one other person particularly, or a group of other people. It could be like a family, a workplace. But this talks to me about burning contracts. The Ten of Fire, the Ten of Wands, is like finally reaching the end of a journey and finally putting all your burdens down, like finally reaching home. So the Destroyer energy, I'm seeing the Death card and the Tower card a lot, both on camera and mainly off camera in the readings that I'm pulling, which can be very, very scary. These two cards came out for me when my mother-in-law died. I was showing them in the morning. Few hours later, she, I say mother-in-law, but, well, not married, but yeah, a few hours later, we got the call that she had died unexpectedly. I got the Tower and the Death card a lot when we were going into the first lockdown. So this is big energy. It's big. It can be scary, but if you look at it as chaos as a ladder, everything has a purpose, everything has a reason. I think one thing that came out of lockdown is that people did have this intense period of soul searching. A lot of people took up new hobbies. So if we put aside the kind of destructive quality of what happened with COVID, a lot of people actually found themselves or found a different way to be through the lockdown period, or through the changes that this brought around. Now, if we want to talk astrologically, Saturn moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, Pluto moving from Capricorn, very slowly heading towards Aquarius. What else was in there? I think Saturn, Jupiter, was it? Lots of big, slow moving, important planets moving through these signs, through the sign of Capricorn, which is to do with structure and doing things by the book and doing things in an established way, and into the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign about innovation. This was predicted. All this was kind of predicted. We knew it was coming, and we knew it was serving a purpose. There was a point to it. Okay, and that's not to say that it's not to say that difficult things didn't come up, but I think sometimes when you understand why things are happening astrologically, it can be actually quite helpful. So I feel like for you, it could be a personal brink, but it is coming through for a lot of signs off camera. So I am getting this feeling of a lot of people being in a place where they're about to take a big leap of faith, where they're about to be more authentic and true to themselves again, because we've got these big planets in Aquarius. It's quite an important time in terms of identity and the transformation of culture and all these kind of things. So I really feel like that Capricorn energy of suppression, of patriarchy, of doing things in an established way is starting to crumble, and we are finding the promotion of the individual, the promotion of individual opinions and values to be something that's important, and it's something that should be nurtured. This is a very unique person here. We could be talking about autism as well, or people who are neurodivergent, and actually seeing a lot of potential in that, because it's out of the box thinking. Aquarius, you're very, and why am I talking about Aquarius again? I don't know. Aquarius is very out of the box thinking. So seeing the dreamers in society, seeing the people who are unique, seeing the people who stand out as having something special about them that can be not harnessed, but utilized and fostered and nurtured and tended to, so that it can grow and actually do something that's quite innovative and different that can benefit everybody is quite a strong message that's coming through. So understanding that this destroyer energy, this Kali energy, this plutonic energy, this like destructive energy, this chaos energy is actually also a freeing energy. It removes things that aren't working, and it creates space for things that are new to grow. So I was talking in one reading about how wildfires sometimes burn through the undergrowth so that the light can get through to the smaller plants, the smaller seedlings, and give them a chance at life. So it does feel like, I want to say it's very, very good, even though bad things may be happening, even though, like, what is it, like, you'll be a man, my son, kind of, you're getting all these poems like, put away childish things, you'll be a man, my son. It's like when everybody around you is losing their head, it's like you're finding yours. I don't think that's the exact poem, but that's how it's coming through. When everyone around you, when the chaos is happening, when things are falling apart, when everybody's panicking, it's almost like you have this, it's like you're being released. And what's being released is your heart. Oh my God, look at all these queens. What is being released is the part of yourself that is nurturing and warm and wants to love and wants to, nurture and encourage. I get this kind of like teacher energy a lot for you, like maybe somebody's fostering or something. It's it's very beautiful, it's very mothering, it's very kind, it's very compassionate. But it's like it comes after this moment of like challenging someone to do the worst, calling them on the bluff, and then being like, they're giving me, I heard all that's left is love, and then I heard all you need is love. It's released, it's gone, it's done, it's over, its burden's released. Right, let's just see where we go with this. So anything else on that Nine of Air? Look, it landed right on it. Knight of Cups. Yeah, love is the way through this. Love is how you get through this. Like holding on to your heart, being true to your heart, revealing your heart. Just being emotionally truthful, right? About how you feel, what you feel, why you feel that way is what's getting you out of a situation where you've almost been repressed by your own fears. Into this Queen of Air and Mystic energy. Yeah, look, the World card. Look with the owl again. All these wings. Could be you've got some kind of spiritual guidance here. It's very High Priestess energy. It's not the High Priestess card, but it's like the High Priestess. It's knowledgeable. I thought of Libra as being like the librarian. It was in an Awakening to Spirit reading, but she called Libras the librarians, and I thought that's wonderful. It's like this, like, it just feels like spiritual knowledge, like a higher spiritual knowledge, very High Priestess like, but very earthy at the same time, of having this kind of like book smarts or logic, or, you know, like a lawyer would have to learn a lot of legislation in order to be the lawyer in the courtroom. I'm just talking about Libra energy, Queen of Air energy, like the strategist, like having something to say but having the knowledge to back it up is how that feels. But it does feel very spiritual. I'm going to read this Mystic card, I think. But the World as well is about completion. It's about closure. It's about lessons learned. It's about closing out a cycle, and you have it here and here. It's like, it just feels like I've learned everything I can in this situation. I've exhausted all the possibilities. So it's time for me to go elsewhere, perhaps. The Destroyer and the Ten of Fire. So what? Success, see? Six of Wands, success. It's like, brilliant, it's done. Let it burn down. Let it all fall to the ground. Let that tower fall away. Because you're walking away from it anyway. It's that tower is no longer fit for purpose. That tower no longer is supposed to stand. It's like, what is it? Chaos is a ladder. Your success is going to come through walking away from the storm, letting it all burn, you know, letting it all fall away. You don't have to do anything. The universe is removing it for you, I want to say. The Wheel there as well. Big change in look, big cycle change. Very cool reading. I'm very drawn to the Mystic and the World card with that, the owl as well. Tell me more about this character here, this Mystic. Yeah, it's been so cagey. Look, because there's the World, look. This, I don't know what it is with this deck, because I feel really, look at this, the Tower as well with the owl. Like, I feel so drawn to use this deck with these animals, but it just, on camera, all I'm getting is these, like, pictureless cards. Like, all the major arcana is staying hidden. The Tower card and the World card. I keep getting this apocalypse energy. Now, I don't think it's literally the apocalypse, right? But it's like, it kind of is like a stage ending, a phase ending, a big cycle change, a big, like, it feels like a huge, like, shift, right? A huge shift of energy for the collective energy in some sort of way. Like, you've learnt your lessons, you're moving on. Like, so don't worry about what's happening behind you. Keep moving forward with love, and that's the only way through this. Five of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. A little bit guarded about loss, a little bit trying to cling on to the past, I feel like all you want to take forward is the lessons, right? All you want to take forward is the knowledge, the skills, the toolbox, right? The emotional, or the toolbox of the soul is what you want to take forward. But all the stuff you don't need, right? It's like it's served its purpose. So the mystic then. This energy is really, I'm very curious about it. The seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering and light-hearted daydreamer. What did I say? What did I say about this? Yet like Shiva, or Shiva, which is this destroyer energy, right? The true mystic plays a critical role in society. I might be mixing her up with a different goddess, I'm not quite sure, so sorry if I'm mixed up there. But the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. And I saw nectar in Aquarius's reading. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. Very cool, very cool. When light, remover of darkness, visionary, ageless. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of a thousand stars. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the light of 1,000 stars. Like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame or tapas within. So that talks to me about like tantric or kundalini kind of work. So maybe. Where is my book? There it is. So I want to read the world card, because these the characters on these cards speak directly to you. I just feel like the only way forward, the only path forward is the heart, right? You have to move forward with the heart. Like whatever you're doing, do it with love. Whatever you're doing, make sure it speaks to your heart. I don't think that any other path is going to work. Flying beyond the moon. To see me appearing is a reward in itself. I bring a pure message of congratulations, success, right? 6 of Wands. Congratulations. You have completed a major phase in your life. You have accomplished your goal. You have made your most precious dreams come true. In other words, you have reached the moon. The journey was long and full of challenges, but you made it through. You've learned so much along the way. You are a whole new person. You've become the true master of your destiny. Remember, all you took to bring you there. Remember all it took to bring you there. Take the time to celebrate this victory. All elements are aligned. You are now in the right place, doing the right thing. You are connected to the world and giving it the best you can offer. You are one with the universe. So fly gracefully, my dear. Fly high and fly free. Achievement, completion, fulfilled dreams, established goals and celebration. It just feels like burning up the things that you don't need anymore. You know, a bit like, say when you leave a relationship and you fully leave, right? It's like emotionally you get over an old relationship. Sometimes those photographs of the past can hold you in the past, right? They can stop you moving forward. But sometimes people like to burn old letters or burn old photos, because it's almost like it's an emotional freedom from that past situation. So I'm not saying that you have to do that, but it's reminding me of that, right? It's reminding me of celebrating the end of something that you don't need anymore. It could be like, you know, you get your driver's license, so you burn your provisional, that kind of thing. I want to read the Destroyer as well. Do I really want to read the Destroyer? Let's see. Just because it might be a scary card to some of you, and I want to say it's not scary. Don't fear this ending. Don't fear this change, because there's a point to it, right? There's something else after. The destroyer, the final of the three archetypes in the triad of existence, has necessary but painful work to do in the world. Culturally, we have an aversion to endings, and we hang on to permanence as a signifier of success. Yet the destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath relationships, jobs, homes, and all forms of security. This is the part of us that wants things to end. Its painful orientation is to uncover our true purpose. The destroyer does not let us linger long in comforts, as it knows that not much happens in that realm. With its piercing eyes, it seeks out stagnancy from a distance, and the rest becomes history. In the old myths, this is the moment when the heads begin to roll. Well, Queen of Swords. The ground opens up and the castles crumble. Hold on for the ride, the destroyer has arrived. In old tales, the destroyer sometimes appears as a black dog. Other times it takes the form of gods and goddesses such as Shiva, Kali, and Apophis. Consider Picasso's statement, every act of creation is first of all an act of destruction. So it feels like the circle of life almost as well, doesn't it? It just feels like a major life change or a major life lesson or soul lesson that somebody's experienced. It's like somebody is done with something. There's a phase of their life and they're done with it. And what they're doing going forward is moving forward from what their heart wants or from what their soul wants. Like, look, you've got the Knight of Cups, the heart, and the Queen of Water. It's like, I was talking in Aquarius's reading about when you learn how to tune into the frequency of unconditional love, when you know how to pull on it, when you know how to connect with the universal energies and find that unconditional love frequency, nothing scares you anymore, because love is greater than fear. Love is always going to be greater than fear. You can look at examples, I've kind of hinted at this in Capricorn's reading at the end there. It's like examples of when a parent will instinctively do something that threatens their own life in order to save their child's life. It's like, because love is greater than the fear, right? It's like actually the fear that prompts the love. It's love wins. And when you know that the universe loves you, and when you know that you're going to be okay no matter what, when you find that frequency, there isn't anything left to fear. So let the things fall away that need to fall away. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Just be true to your own heart and let love be the deciding factor. Make all your decisions based on your heart and you're going to be okay, right? No matter what. Because at the end of the day, that's good karma. You're generating good karma for your future self, no matter what form that takes. Can't believe the one's there. Where did that appear? Because I picked up the heart, look. Yeah, the one. That's it. That's it. Look, the thread, the one. That's it. Right? It's everywhere. It's in everything. It's always there. And you don't have to seek it in anyone or anything else. It's everywhere all the time. You're already doing it. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. But I feel like this is the one that I'm to read for you. You're already doing it. Just looking for it. It takes me a second to find it because just of the way that it's the cards aren't numbered, they're alphabetical. I have 30, but then there's like different sections, so I have to like scan through each time. Right, Pisces, are you ready for your advice? I'm going to pick it up so you can see it. Might get a bit loud, just to kind of warn you. I'm just trying to get it so I can read the book without casting a shadow. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. Do not question things so much. You are on the right track. You are facing the right way. Stop overthinking it. It's happening. And you are closer than you think. You are exactly where you need to be. And things are moving at the perfect speed. Do not rush it. Now is not the time to be impatient. Now is the time to walk steady. There is no rush. What you are building is being built. What you have planted will soon blossom. With every new day, a new brick is being laid. You have come a long way. The foundations are steady. Now all that's needed is for you to trust and keep walking forward. If a thought that things should be moving faster enters your head, that is just your ego comparing your rising to someone else. Comparison is not your friend. Stay in your lane, water your own garden, knowing that your time to bloom will come soon. You are already doing it. Keep going, and you have success, right? You have the card about success, reward, and recognition. You're already doing it. So slow and steady, heart open. You've got it. All right, Pisces, do take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon, my lovelies. Bye-bye.